the world has been waiting for this moment. The journey of Jesus that began with hope, miracles, and love is now reaching its final days. Season 6 of The Chosen is not just another season, it is the climax, the heartbreaking and powerful story of sacrifice, betrayal, and victory that has defined history itself. The trailer for Season 6 finally shows us a glimpse of what fans have been longing for: the last days of Jesus. The trailer begins with a haunting silence, broken only by the sound of footsteps on the stone streets of Jerusalem. Crowds gather, the city feels alive, but there is a shadow hanging over every face. The disciples look uneasy, their eyes filled with both fear and faith. We see Jesus walking slowly, calm but heavy with the knowledge of what is to come. This is not the joyful entry into Jerusalem we once sit, is something different, something final. Season 5 left us with unanswered questions and a rising storm. The religious leaders were already plotting, and the Romans were watching closely. In the trailer for Season 6, this tension explodes into focus. We hear whispers of betrayal, the plotting of Judas, and the harsh stares of those who want Jesus silenced forever. The air is heavy, and as the music rises, so does our anticipation. There are brief flashes, glimpses of the Last Supper, where Jesus' words fall like thunder into the hearts of his closest friends. Bread is broken, wine is poured, and the disciples look around the table in confusion and sorrow. In another shot, Judas's face is shown, half in shadow, half in light, his heart torn between loyalty and greed. This moment tells us everything: betrayal is coming, and it will shake the story to its core. The trailer does not slow down, pushes us deeper into the unfolding storm. Soldiers prepare, torches light the night, and the Garden of Gethsemane comes alive with raw emotion. We see Jesus on his knees, praying in agony, while his disciples struggle to stay awake. The scene is painted with heartbreak, the weight of the world pressing on his shoulders. The quiet before the soldiers arrive to take him away. But the trailer also gives us something more: the promise of hope hidden in the pain. A final look from Jesus, filled not with fear, but with love, reminds us that this story, though dark, is leading to light. It is the beginning of the end, but also the start of something eternal. The trailer suddenly shifts its tone. We are taken inside a quiet upper room where the disciples sit together, unaware that this meal will be their last supper with their teacher. The camera moves slowly across their faces. Some are smiling, trying to hold on to normal moments of fellowship. Others look tense, as if they sense the storm that is about to break. And then we hear the voice of Jesus, calm but filled with sorrow: "One of you will betray me." This single line sends a shockwave through the scene. The disciples glance at one another, their voices rising in confusion, each man asking, "Is it the first, Lord?" The trailer lingers on Judas, who lowers his eyes, avoiding the piercing gaze of Jesus. His hands tremble as he dips the bread into the bowl. The silence around him is heavy, the kind of silence that speaks louder than any words. It is a moment of unbearable tension, one that fans of The Chosen have been waiting years to see. The trailer doesn't stop there. It moves us quickly to the next heartbreaking prophecy. Jesus looks at Peter, his most loyal follower, and says, "The words no friend ever wants to hear. Before the rooster crows, you will deny me 3 times." Peter shakes his head, his eyes wide with disbelief, when he insists, "I will never deny you, Lord." But we, the audience, know the truth. Music swells, and we catch quick flashes of what is to come: Peter, standing in the courtyard, his face pale with fear as soldiers question him. His voice cracks, and we hear the painful words of denial echo into the night. The brilliance of this trailer is how it mixes love with betrayal, loyalty with weakness. It shows us the humanity of the disciples, men who wanted to be strong, but who struggled under the weight of fear. We see Judas's betrayal not as simple evil, but as a tragic choice that will shape history. We see Peter's denial not as hatred, but as human weakness in the face of danger. And through it all, Jesus remains steady, his face filled with sorrow, yet shining with a deeper purpose. This section of the trailer reminds us that The Chosen is not just retelling events, It is bringing us into the raw, human struggle of those who lived through them. It is not just history. It is emotion, it is heartbreak, it is the reality of what it means to be human standing in the shadow of the divine. The trailer takes us into the night, where the mood shifts from tension to unbearable dread. The screen darkens, and we see Jesus. Kneeling in the Garden of Gethsemane, his voice trembles as he whispers into the silence, "Father, if it is possible, let this cup pass from me. Yet not my will, but yours be done." His face is streaked with sweat, his body shaking under the weight of what lies ahead. This is not the Jesus of miracles and crowds. This is the Jesus who carries the crushing burden of the world, the disciples. Just a few feet away, cannot keep their eyes open. The trailer shows them sleeping while their master prays in agony. The contrast is painful. Jesus wide awake in torment, his friends lost in slumber. It is a picture of loneliness that cuts deep. Suddenly, the silence is shattered. Torches flare. Boots march, and the sound of clashing metal fills the night. The soldiers have arrived. The betrayal unfolds in chilling detail. Judas steps forward, his face pale in the torchlight. His lips tremble as he leans in and kisses Jesus on the cheek. The camera lingers on that moment, the kiss that will forever be remembered as the symbol of betrayal. Jesus does not resist. Instead, he looks at Judas with a gaze of both sorrow and love. No words are needed, the pain is clear. Chaos erupts. Swords are drawn, disciples scatter, and Peter lashes out in anger, striking at a soldier. But Jesus, even in chains, commands peace. Those who live by the sword will die by the sword. His calmness against the storm makes the scene even more powerful. Bound and surrounded, he is led away, and the music swells with haunting tones. The trailer then gives us brief, sharp glimpses of the trials. Jesus stands before the high priest, accused and mocked. His silence echoes louder than their shouting. We see Roman soldiers pushing him, spitting, striking his face while the crowds scream for his blood. In another flash, Pilate looks conflicted, washing his hands in water while behind him the people cry out, "Crucify him!" This section of the trailer is where fear becomes reality. The night of shadows has begun, and there is no turning back. What makes it unforgettable is not just the cruelty of the enemies, but the dignity of Jesus' refusal to fight. His quiet strength, his surrender to a greater plan. It is both heartbreaking and inspiring. The kind of imagery that stays with viewers long after the screen fades. The trailer reaches its peak, and everything slows down. The screen fades to black, and then we hear the sound of a hammer, striking iron once, twice, 3 times. The echoes roll like thunder. The light returns, and we see Jesus carrying the cross through the streets. His body broken, his face streaked with blood and dust. The camera lingers on the crowd. Some weep, some jeer, others turn away. The weight of the cross is unbearable. Yet he walks forward, each step more painful than the last. The music drops to silence as the crucifixion begins. Nails pierce flesh, wood shakes under the force of the hammer, and the sky grows darker with each strike. The trailer doesn't show everything, but what it reveals is enough. His hands stretched wide, his body raised above the earth, his voice whispering words of forgiveness. "Father, forgive them, for they know not what they do." These words cut deeper than any wound. We then see the reactions of those around him. Mary, his mother, her face torn with grief, but filled with unshakable love. John, standing by her side, his eyes wet with tears. The disciples scattered, some watching from afar, broken by fear and guilt. And in the midst of the crowd, soldiers casting lots, mocking, while the sky above grows black. The trailer captures the horror and the sorrow in quick flashes, leaving viewers breathless. But even in this darkness, the trailer does something extraordinary. It hints at hope. As Jesus breathes his last, the earth shakes, stones crack, and the temple curtain rips apart. The screen cuts to black again, and after a long pause, we hear the faint sound of a stone rolling away. A single beam of light breaks through the darkness. For a split second, We see the empty tomb, the grave clothes folded, and then silence. This final tease leaves the audience suspended between grief and glory. The crucifixion is not the end, but the beginning of something eternal. The trailer refuses to reveal everything, but it plants a seed of hope so powerful that viewers will not be able to forget it. Season 6 promises to deliver the most emotional, heartbreaking, and life-changing story yet. And as the final words appear on the screen, the chosen season. 6. The last days of Jesus, the message is clear. History's greatest story is about to be told like never. The trailer does more than show us events. It reveals the incredible performances that make this story breathe. Jonathan Rumi, returning as Jesus, carries the weight of the world in every frame. His eyes, filled with sorrow and love, tell the story without needing words. In one moment, he is praying in the garden with trembling hands. In the next, he is standing silent before his accusers, unshaken by their rage. It is a performance that feels less like acting and more like stepping into history itself. But the power of the trailer doesn't rest on one actor alone. Each disciple is given a moment, a glimpse into their inner battles. We see Peter, torn between courage and fear, played with raw emotion that makes his eventual denial all the more heartbreaking. Matthew's quiet loyalty, John's steady devotion, Thomas's doubt, and Judas's tortured guilt, all of it is captured with subtle yet powerful performances. These are not distant biblical figures. They feel like living, breathing people, caught in impossible moments. The production itself feels larger and more cinematic than ever before. Jerusalem comes alive with bustling streets, crowded markets, and the looming presence of Roman soldiers. The costumes are rich in detail. The lighting captures both the warmth of friendship and the darkness of betrayal. And the camera work sweeps us into the story as if we are standing in the crowd ourselves. Every shot feels crafted to pull viewers deeper, to make them feel the dust of the road, the heat of the sun, and the chill of the night. The trailer also teases the sheer scale of Season 6, from the intimate tears of Mary at the cross to the roar of thousands shouting in the streets. The story moves between personal heartbreak and world-shaking events. The cinematography knows when to linger on a single trembling hand and when to pull back to show the massive weight of history unfolding. It is this balance of intimacy and scale that promises to make Season 6 unforgettable. By the end of this section of the trailer, it becomes clear The Chosen is no longer just a series, is an experience. Cast, the artistry, and the vision behind it are building something epic, something that feels both timeless and urgent. This is not just about watching the life of Jesus, it is about living it through the screen. The trailer doesn't just tell a story, it marks a moment in time. After all the emotion, all the glimpses of betrayal, sorrow, and sacrifice, the screen fades to black. For a heartbeat, there is silence. And then, in bold letters, a single reveal, 2026, the year when the world will finally witness the last days of Jesus through The Chosen. It is not just a date, it feels like a prophecy fulfilled. Fans across the globe have been waiting, their hearts heavy with expectations since the end of Season 5. Social media has been alive with questions. When? Will it come? How will the story end? The trailer finally answers with certainty. The wait is almost over, and the countdown begins. The release year is more than an announcement. It is a spark that ignites excitement. You can almost feel the global audience leaning closer to their screens, goosebumps rising as they realize they are about to experience the climax of this journey. Churches, families, and fans who have followed since Season 1 will soon gather to watch together, to cry together, and to remember why this story still matters 2,000 years later. The trailer reminds us that this is not just entertainment. It is history retold with raw honesty and love. By tying the release to 2026, it makes the season feel like a worldwide event, something greater than television. It is a shared experience, a story that crosses borders, languages, and generations. No matter where you are, the message is clear. The story of sacrifice and hope is coming. It will not leave you unchanged. This moment in the trailer is short, but powerful. The release date flashes on the screen, but the silence around it speaks louder. It's not just about when, it's about what it means. 2026 will be the year audiences are brought face to face with the most emotional season yet. As that music swells one final time, fans are left breathless, already planning, already waiting, already longing for the day when the first episode drops. The trailer does not end with defeat, it ends with destiny. After the chaos, the betrayal, and the cross, the screen fades to silence once more. For a moment, it feels as if the story is over. But then, a faint light breaks through the darkness. A stone begins to move. The sound of rock grinding against rock fills the silence. The tomb opens. And though we do not see him, we feel it that. Promise that death is not the end. It is a moment that lasts only a few seconds, but it changes everything. The sorrow of crucifixion collides with the hope of resurrection, leaving the audience suspended between tears and triumph. The screen flashes one last time. The Chosen Season 6, The Last Days of Jesus. And with that, the trailer delivers its final blow. This is not just another season of a series. This is the conclusion of a journey that has touched millions. It is the story that began in small fishing boats on dusty roads, in quiet villages, and now reaches the hill of Calvary and beyond. Every miracle, every teaching, every tear has been leading to this. And now fans know the ending is here, and it will be unforgettable. As the trailer closes, the voiceover reminds us, this is the story that changed the world. The words linger, echoing in the silence, leaving viewers with goosebumps. The audience knows that what they have just seen is not simply a show. It's a reawakening of the greatest story ever told. For fans, the reaction is immediate. They will share it, rewatch it, break down every frame, and circle the release date on their calendars. The excitement will ripple across the world, from living rooms to churches to online communities. And deep down, everyone who watches will know one thing: they are about to witness history brought to life in a way they have never seen before. The Chosen Season 6 trailer is not just an invitation, it is a challenge to feel, to believe, and to be moved. When it finally releases, it promises to not only retell the last days of Jesus, but to make those days live again for a new generation.